Find your depth in a shallow world. Chapter 1. Identity is Destiny. The objective truth about you is measured from a surface perspective visible to any random passerby who happens to glance your way. Maybe that you're this or that, old or young, rich or poor, heavy or thin, or something in between. Black, brown, white, red, yellow, or green. Citizen, family member, or friend. Artist or accountant. Foodie or clown. Traveler or gardener, or any number of other descriptions and occupations. Deeper down, you're a handful of thoughts and experiences, habits and preferences, feelings and comfort zones. You may feel happy or sad, content or frustrated, and this probably varies day by day, hour by hour. You may feel empowered or afraid, or both. You may be kind or cruel, courageous or cowardly, extroverted and expressive, driven or satisfied. At your deepest level, you're a living, breathing, thinking, feeling, acting pile of unexplored potential whose best days lie ahead if you play your cards right. We'll explore each of these categories in turn, but all these facts tell less than half the story. What matters much more than who you actually are is the story you've unconsciously written about who you are, and what you're worth, and where you belong, and what you're capable of, and what you should expect from others and from whatever your remaining years of life will yet reveal. Your story matters more than objective fact because that's what determines your sense of self, which is the way you experience yourself and your life, regardless of how much money, or love, or health, or free time, or anything else you may enjoy. This sense of self generates a gravity which continually drags your behaviors and outcomes in line. If you try to rise above your self-image, it drags you back down. If you find yourself living below where you feel you deserve, then you won't rest until you claw your way up. But it's not just what you do, it's how you do it. And until you see yourself more clearly, it's impossible to give the world your very best performance. Furthermore, the story you tell yourself about who you are doesn't only control your thoughts, feelings, actions, and outcomes. You also unconsciously train others to treat you the way your identity believes they should. You can try to talk, dress, and behave differently, but others will eventually see through your disguise and honor your deep down self-image. As Tony Robbins said, the strongest force in the human personality is the need to remain consistent with how you define yourself. The good news is that your self-concept is not set in stone, and this may be the most important life lesson you will ever learn. Your sense of self came into existence based on a random amalgamation of imperfect experiences interpreted through your limited childhood perspective. And only a very select few are lucky enough to get it mostly right without enduring many painful lessons first. You'd think we humans would have figured out how to transcend our limited self-images by now, but instead, most influences that surround us from birth until death tend to reinforce whatever we already happen to believe about ourselves and the world around us. That's why I wrote Find Your Depth in a Shallow World, because I wish someone would have told me all this information years sooner. I've endured decades of struggle and pain to learn these precious lessons, and now I'd hate to let that go to waste. I've packed this book with hundreds of stories, examples, and discussions about life's most indispensable insights in order to spare you from learning them the hard way, or carrying your unfortunate limitations to the grave, and leaving the world a poorer place than it might have been had you learned to see yourself more clearly and accurately, or to design yourself more consciously and satisfyingly. Each chapter aims to raise your self-awareness and reveal not only who you have become up until this point, but who you could become if you choose, and how to make that happen. Ponder and discuss quotes and questions. Number 1. As you begin this voyage of discovery, how self-aware do you feel? How would you describe yourself? How might you answer the question, who are you? You might want to record your answer and note the ways it evolves as you go along. Question 2. If you could blink your eyes and instantly become anyone you wanted, who would you choose? What new traits or skills or knowledge or beliefs would you select? Which would you leave behind? Quote by Oprah Winfrey. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. And from Terry Pratchett, I have no use for people who have learned the limits of the possible. If this sounds like something that would be interesting for you to read, that you could learn and benefit from and enjoy, pick up your copy at bit.ly/findyourdepth. And be sure to subscribe to this channel where we'll continue to post other chapters from the book. Until next time, as always, live smart, live happy.